Time now for the Educated Retirement Show with your host, Jay Kaplan. Jay discusses reverse mortgages and can answer your questions at 951-922-3532. Call lines are open at 951-922-3532. And now, here's Jay.
Yep, here's Jay. Jay Kaplan, by name anyway. A lot of other things that people call me, but we won't get into that because that'll take too long. It'll take up the whole show. Let me remind you, 951-922-3532 is the call-in. Call in 951-922-3532, if I can make it sound like Sean does. Anyway, welcome back to the Educated Retirement Radio, where I hope you've missed me the way I've missed you for the last week. We are here on KMET 1490 and worldwide on the web, both audio and video. And this is where we're going to contemplate retirement, how to best prepare for said retirement, and how to best stay happily repaired. Okay, well, if there's something needs repaired, let's do it. But how about happily retired? So, we had Phil Walker last week. That was really good talk. We're going to do a little more housekeeping. Remember I said we're going to have some sessions on housekeeping. Now, I can't figure out how what I'm going to tell you about today has anything to do with housekeeping unless we want to refer to a mop or the mop that's on the top of my head. You see on those pictures, the still pictures, I have dark hair. And you see on the moving pictures that I am all white, or as we like to call ourselves, silver. Those pictures are not that old. I've actually lost weight since then, but, things are sagging more anyway, just because, whatever. The only reason my hair looks dark on there is because when those pictures were taken, my hair was wet. I just put water on my head, right? When I put water on my hair, it looks dark. And I think maybe it's because there's a little bit of pigment down inside. When you make it wet, it reflects better. So, no, I do not wear hair coloring if that's what you're thinking. And no, the pictures aren't that old. Now, I've been told I would do better business when if I had darker hair, but I don't like that idea. Not at all. And, so be it. So here I am. So today we're going to be joined by another repeat offender, Randy, who represents One Heart Caregivers. And we're going to talk more about what to look for and how to prepare for care, including others and ourselves. We're also going to look at how to stay busy, because I think that has to do with happiness and health and longevity. So please call, email me, or visit www.drheckham.com or theeducatedretirementradio.com. Or just email me, bestloantoday@gmail.com, bestloantoday@gmail.com, 866-955-2233, 866-955-2233. Take your pick if you want to be 66, 55, 22, or 33. We're going to keep the 95 and 86 out of it for right now. Remember, knowledge is power, and therefore, when it comes to the Heckham or reverse, know the facts. Please compare the numbers. It's much too important an issue to ignore, and you certainly do not want to eliminate it based on not understanding it fully. Remember that equity availability programs like this, or the reverse, when I say this, I mean the Heckham, if you still want to call it reverse. Anyway, it's not a belief system. It's not religion. It's just math. So the flexibility and security it gives is much more than even just math. So there. Take a minute, do what you need to do. I suggest, coming over and saying hello to me. Also, take a look at the website. There's so much information there. And the gateway also to the YouTube channel where you'll find all the shows. And today, hang on, because we are going to visit the Tooth Fairy with John Turturro. on the set of Lust for Life with Vincent Minnelli, who talks about what a love letter to Hollywood really is. So there. Now, my day job. I gotta admit, I got a day job. I am a loan officer at the Loan Source, and my National Mortgage Licensing System, NMLS number is 384565. I also work under the umbrella of the Department of Real Estate, although I do not sell real estate. 792630. We believe in challenging the status quo. Families and people need to be active, not reactive. And we're here to make friends and expand our network. So today, what is today? It is National Tooth Fairy Day. Now, originally, the tooth thingy was an animal, so it wasn't a fairy to begin with, but it was an animal, but it evolved into the fairy image we think of today. The procedure was done. Now, I'm going to read this, and I don't understand it, but it's not the only thing I don't understand. It was done to spare the child hardship in the next life. Would make more sense if it was to spare hardship as an adult or later in life when he got his real teeth in, but that's what it says. In history, the traditions of what to do with that tooth is throw it into a fire or the sun. That would be quite an arm. Throw it backwards between the legs, I guess like hiking a football. Have it swallowed by a pet or your mother. Time or two, I remember swallowing it myself, so I guess that was a real jip. Never got paid for those. Anyway, I don't know what you got. I used to get like 25 cents maybe. I think as I got a little older, it was 50 cents. The average take in this country per tooth is $3.70, and that translates to $74 per mouth. So thinking of that 25 cents, remember the cent sign? When I was typing some of this out to think of it, I almost started looking for that. What was it, like a C with a line through it? I started looking for that on the keyboard. There's no such thing. There hasn't been in many, many years. Wonder if that has to do with inflation or what, but so be it. Let's also keep looking for a break. Let's do that right now. And we'll give it back to Sean for a short time. Thanks for being here, and please stay here. Bye-bye. Hello, I'm saying hello to Danny Luna, who's watching on Face, whatever it is, and Terry. So, but they know where to find it, the whole thing. Welcome back to the Educated Retirement Radio here on our home planet. 1490 KMET AM radio, the mighty Met. And remember, theeducatedretirementradio.com, drheckham.com. I got a bunch of other names for the URL. Goes to the same place, but we don't want to get too involved here. Make it simple. Call me, 866-955-2233, 866-955-2233, or just email at bestloantoday@gmail.com. And why do you want to do that? Because you want to know more about the choices you really have. You can't make up an educated mind to get an educated answer without knowing what's out there. And I've got a team of experts that can help financial, real estate, all different types of lending, attorneys. Anyway, all of us can help you. So make use of this team. Call it your team, your household board of directors. And we can send you to whoever we would like to recommend, never an obligation. So it's Vincent Minnelli's birthday today, who popped into our world in 1903 and zoomed out in 1986. Now, he was married to Judy Garland for a short time, and that produced Lisa Minnelli. He was a window dresser and photographer before directing such films as American in Paris, which won Best Picture Award. Let me sidetrack. You know how I was telling Sean, reminding him how well I can focus. I'm all over the place. But when I think of American in Paris, I also think of Singing in the Rain, because that's kind of like a sister film, right? And so many similarities, like, the long ballet piece in both. But I would like to know why Vincent Minnelli was not a part of that one. Let's see, 1986 now. Okay, just checking. Now, speaking of As We Were, I think for a couple of weeks in a row, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is supposed to be a love letter to Hollywood, which I don't agree with at all. I think it's more of a boring time in Hollywood and a contrived one. But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, is not what Singing in the Rain to me. That is a love letter to Hollywood. Those of you that have seen it know exactly what I'm talking about. It includes movie history, even used music from the era it was portraying, which was the early talkies. And, I also love the fact that it showed Debbie Reynolds on screen singing for Gene Hagen on screen. And in turn, it was Betty Noyes, Noyes, dubbing for Debbie Reynolds off screen. So, it was movie history, and it was about making movies. For me, maybe the best love letter to Hollywood type thing about Hollywood, about making movies, was The Player, Robert Altman's masterpiece, if you don't mind me saying. And what we're doing is we watch the intricacies and drama, both business and personal, affect people as they make that movie. The thing is that the movie they're making is actually the movie that you're watching. To me, that was pure magic. There's a few others also, like Day for Night, Truffaut, 8.5. And, let's get back to Minnelli. He also did some other films like Lust for Life. And, we've talked quite a few times about Lust for Life. And, basically Kirk Douglas. My wife found this for me. I didn't even know I had it anymore, but so be it. I do have it. So he also did Gigi, for which he won Best Director, The Bad and the Beautiful, also with Kirk Douglas. And Bad and the Beautiful, I left off the other list about love letters to Hollywood, but here is another one, a real one. So for those people who really want to see love letters to Hollywood from people who really love it, take a look at it. Frank Gehry popped out in 1929, and as a child, he built small cities out of scraps from his grandpa's hardware store. Now, that would be like, what is that, Sim City or something like that today? Anyway, he won awards around the world. Many, many, many buildings around the world, including the Guggenheim Museum in Spain, not to be confused with the Guggenheim in New York, done by Frank Lloyd Wright. And those two guys got together and worked together on the Hollywood Bowl, which would have been nice to have in a Hollywood movie. Anyway, he also did a place called the Dancing House in the Czech Republic, which is really crazy looking, and I would recommend you take a look at it on the internet, the Dancing House. And also, of course, closer to home, Walt Disney Music Hall. John Turturro popped out in 1957. And to me, he is simply nothing more or less than Barton Fink. Okay, Barton Fink, the Coen brothers from 1991, perhaps still maybe my favorite Coen brothers film. And that just might be because it was the first one. I saw it even before Blood Simple. So John's been appeared in over 60 films and has worked mostly with the Coen brothers, Adam Sandler, Spike Lee, Tarantino also. Tarantino. Torturo, excuse me. My apologies, John. Torturo also starred in Disney Pixar Cars too. When I see a film with his name on it, I know there's something different about it, and I'm probably going to like it. He was also, of course, one of the main three characters in Brother, Where Art Thou? One of the main three in this one, which is The Big Lebowski, of course. And one of his first, if not his first, was Raging Bull. So there. So on that note, we're going to take a look one more time at my phone number. See that? I'm going to blow my whistle for Danny, who's watching, who gave it to me, and we're going to take us a break. Hang in there, please. That's my favorite music for the show. Thank you. Welcome back to the Educated Retirement Radio here on 1490 KMET, AM radio, and all sorts of internet, everywhere. We're going to get to Randy in a minute. I'm just going to finish up my normal stuff, which I even mentioned about in the introduction. So I better finish it about this day in history. And then we'll get right on to Randy. In 1883, I don't think Randy or I or Sean were alive. I don't think. I guess I'd be the closest. The first vaudeville theater opened in the United States in Boston by a guy named Benjamin Franklin Keith. Fresh off his success in traveling circuses, he also founded a curio museum and opened the Bijou Theater in Boston for variety. I have a real live Bijou Theater picture, I signed, and I have a picture of it. It goes back, way back. It's hanging on a wall, and I will include it on the video for this. So, anyway, this Bijou Theater was open 8 to 12 hours a day so that it was available for most people at any time, even those coming or going from work. And following this success, other theaters like theater chains such as that of Marcus Lowe opened up. And of course, today we've got, the Lowe theaters got huge. The People's Vaudeville Company, founded in 1904 and developed into huge Lowe's theater chain. So that's what Lowe did, the People's Vaudeville. Now, for the people that really matter, which is you guys out there, we're going to bring Randy on, and Randy will have a lot of time to talk to us. And we're going to, I know some of the things I want to talk about, because I want to stop talking in a minute or two and let him do all of that, as much of that, is how to keep us oldies busy, which I think has a lot to do with anti-aging and health and happiness. And he's going to talk about franchising in regards to that. And of course, we also need to know about healthcare in general and what to look for and when. So without further ado, I am going to bring on Randy and let him introduce himself.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Jay.
You're very
my name
welcome.
is Randy. I'm the Vice President of Franchise Development for One Heart Franchise. We're a senior care franchise company based in Los Angeles. I've been in operation for more than 14 years, and right now, I guess we have opened the opportunity for a franchise to franchisees in Southern California area, Las Vegas, Nevada, and we just signed up 2 franchise locations in San Francisco last January 31.
You mean there's older people there too?
There's a couple of old people there. You know, the senior care industry is a booming industry because of not only the baby boomers, but the existing seniors all across USA.
Yeah.
And the 77 million baby boomers since 2011, turning 10,000 every day, seniors every day. Now they're on their 74th year, 74 years old, turning 10,000 Americans turning 74 years old every day.
That's me. I'm turning 74 next month.
Oh, well, it doesn't show, Jay.
Yes, it does. But, we've got a lot of filters on here. Thanks to Sean. Thank you, Sean. We've got, I do look pretty good, though, for 102. And I guess I'm the first or the oldest. Either way you want to look at it. Let's say first. It sounds better. Being 1946.
And I just met one of our client in Huntington Beach. She's about 106 years old, Jay.
Wow.
And one of her secret is she said, just be happy, and I'm not a complainer.
Yeah.
So I know that many of us have a very good positive attitude, so we probably would reach that age. And right now we are so happy to announce that we are expanding to different states all over USA.
Wow.
So there's franchise brokers, consultants that are looking into other states. Like today, I have some Virginia inquiry, Florida, New Jersey, and Texas. We want to go into Texas area as well. And a couple of shows that you have, I know you'll remember that I've declared that our healthcare industry is defective because it focuses on illness. One Heart Caregiver Services focus on wellness.
Yeah.
And we have our brain fitness education seminars, neurobic brain exercises. Now we have one of our newest resource speaker, brain booster, Kimberly Mitchell, who's going to be doing some brain booster lecture to us in Nevada. And
now, is she the lady I met in Glendale that time?
I guess it's another person, T-Bar. So she's a brain fitness program director also. So we have a couple of very good resource speaker.
Do you know anybody where I can get a brain transplant?
Yeah, no, it's just a couple of neurobics brain gym exercises and cognitive.
Yeah, so I may not even need a transplant, huh? There's other ways.
It's pretty much sharp and alert. I can see that you've got a couple of some very good sharp updates of history and all of those fun trivia. So that's
trivia. You got me down perfectly. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's a, but right, your program, the Educated Retirement, speaks highly of people who, even after being retired, just want to do a couple of more things. One of my new franchisee, who's 20 years in the Navy and 14 years in the immigration, as immigration officer, now wanted to do also another One Heart franchise business because he will be able to dictate more his own time.
Right.
Because,
and still work. I mean, it's not like you're not working, but you have the flexibility to work those hours than you want. It's not just working when you want. You have certain things you need, but you have the flex you need to do, but you have the flexibility in most cases, there's going to be some emergencies maybe that you need to get to, or something that's maybe time sensitive, but
those are one of the major reasons why Americans would love to be their own boss, so that they will have their own freedom in their time, financial freedom, and personal freedom as well, at the same time helping seniors and providing more jobs to the local community.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. And so I know we also wanted to work with you closely because there are some seniors who would want to get funded for their home care services, and the reverse mortgage is one of those that are very much very open for them to be able to afford home care services.
Oh yeah, because you don't have to, it doesn't take much to qualify. And once you've got it, doesn't mean you're spending it. You've got access to it. It's like opening up your access to your equity if and when you want it for healthcare or to even make more money with. But yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
Correct. And that's why you and I both need to educate our senior community. There's so much education needed because not many people know this about the home care services that they can do with their reverse mortgage, and at the same time provide help for their family or for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that even our franchisees would want to educate also our senior community in their local area.
Yeah, I've got a good friend who was actually a guest about a month and a half ago, and he has no need for money.
Okay.
But he has a need for doing something. So he drove for Uber, which didn't turn out to be too bad money-wise.
Yeah.
And he also, since he's kind of an outdoorsman, went to work for $10.36 an hour at an outdoor sports, mega mart. So keeping busy is important. Sometimes it's more important than making money.
Correct. In our quality of life, whether we measure the physical, mental health, nutrition, and activities, social engagement is one of the most powerful tool that we should have in our life, even during our retirement.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that we encourage.
Yeah. So people who were anywhere from bottom of the pyramid all the way up to executives are moving towards franchising now, whether they're retired or not, right?
Yes, there's a couple of things that you wanted to go into business. You can set up your own independent business, buy an existing business, or the easiest one is to acquire a franchise business, which offers already a well-built business model.
All right, so that saves you lots of effort.
Yes, and you don't run a business, Jay. You run a system. So there's an operating system that will allow you to follow the processes, systems, and some methodology that will be able to make sure that you provide organizational effectiveness to your own business operation.
Yeah. So, wow. So, let's talk about One Heart itself, and then we can get back to that.
Sure.
So I think most of our listeners and watchers are familiar with the name One Heart.
Yeah.
But you want to tell us exactly what it is you do and how you differ perhaps from other companies that say they do the same thing?
Yeah. One Heart Caregiver Services is a home care service agency. It's a company that provides private caregivers, one-on-one private duty. We also, not only in their private homes, but in big senior living facilities. Those people that are in the senior living facilities, once they reach an hourly need for care, then they can't stay in their senior living facilities. They're supposed to get a private care duty. So people who have had a fall or pneumonia or other things that will allow them not to perform two activities of their daily living. So that's where One Heart comes in to provide personal care, assistance in daily living, providing meals, light housekeeping, medical appointments. So those are the things that we've done. And we've provided millions of hours of service over the course of 14 years.
Wow.
So the difference with other company is we've been there for many years. We've done some continuing professional education. We have our in-house caregiver university where we provide continuing education nurses, doctors, engineers with that continuing education. What more with caregivers, because we don't handle products, we handle human lives.
Ah,
Very important to be able to train them and equip them with their own personal development and skills and knowledge to be able to provide the best care. Also, we do a lot of continuing health education advocacy. So we have brain fitness education seminars, aerobics brain exercises. Now there's going to be brain booster.
oh, I need that. Sign me up.
Yeah,
In fact, before we go any further, why don't you tell everybody, let's talk about the health care part right now. Who would they call? Are you the person to call? Give out all the information on healthcare right now, on using One Heart for healthcare.
we have about 9 offices. So, but you can call the head office, corporate head office, at 818-906-4441. Or you can see us at oneheartcares.com. You can sign up there if how many hours of needed care, and we have our circle of care, which means there's a dedicated client care manager for each case, where we'll be able to make sure that we check out the progress of the seniors, check on the performance of the caregivers, and at the same time provide our quality of life program. The quality of life program will be able to see the progress in physical health and mental health and nutrition, so that we'll be able to show progress.
Okay, now we're going to go over those numbers again. It'll be on the screen later too, or as far as on the video, all that information will be there. And of course, anybody can call me or call Randy direct. And Randy, you're going to say those numbers again. But for now, let's switch back over to the franchising.
Sure.
Now, will there be a different set of phone numbers for the franchising information or place to go?
Yes. Each franchise is in our website. So there's a location. When you see the website, just put on and search on the location: Beverly Hills, Thousand Oaks, Santa Barbara, Las Vegas.
How about if somebody is interested in their own franchise?
If they're interested in their own franchise, the website also, when you click the website franchise, it goes to our One Heart franchise.
Oh, okay. So all the information is on the internet also.
Yes, in our website, and our contact number. My direct line is 818-579-2570.
Say it one more time, please.
818-579-2570.
Great.
So we will be able to walk you through the franchise step process. It's a couple of step process that we'll be able to walk you through. So you'll be able to help you make a decision whether this senior care franchise, One Heart franchise, is
right for you. It's the best way to keep you busy or not.
Correct.
Right.
Both traveling to different states. Also, I'm conducting some franchise masterclass webinars so that they get educated with the One Heart franchise system.
So what kind of training do you offer these people that are looking for the franchise, or actually are going into it? And, your initial training, ongoing training, how does all that work?
We have an inductive franchisee training in our One Heart Business Academy. It's a 5-day.
I like that, academy.
One Heart Business Academy in our corporate our head office. So we'll be able to walk them through the operations, staffing, recruitment, billing, invoices, and sales and marketing. And we have a technology platform where there's a system where caregivers will call in, time out. Then it goes to our technology platform where it generates payroll, billing invoices. It gets migrated to our QuickBook accounting system. So very efficient. You don't need to have your own another staff to be able to handle your accounting.
All right, yeah, because that's like a full-time job normally, right?
It saves you time and very efficient. And we have our field work training also. We have our senior client care managers who's going to train them actual field coaching in Southern California. And once they're finished, there's continuing second phase of training. We go to their territory after 3 months to 6 months to do our own field coaching. I also travel to some franchise offices so to be able to help them out how to build their business. So we have webinars, quarterly workshop, which is part of the continuous training. for franchisees here in our head office. And we have our video materials also that will keep them abreast. We have the health education lectures that will update them on the most recent health education materials they need to know.
Yeah, so they stay out in front of the competition, but
Sure.
more important than that is they're doing the right thing all the time for the client.
Yes. And all with the goal of promoting wellness, longevity, and improved lifestyle.
Yeah, and I really, really agree, buy in, whatever you want to call it, to getting professional help when you need it.
Yes.
Whether it's for yourself, for your loved ones, even if you know somebody who is taking care of their brother, sister, parents, even children with afflictions, those people need help also. Those people need to be relieved every now and then, or their lives will really go downhill. Don't you think?
Correct. And they need to check out and make their due diligence also of companies, whether they have the home care organization license, whether they have their employees as W-2 employees. There's now registration. Home care aid caregivers has to be registered under the Department of Social Services, which means they need to be having some live scan, TB test, and 5 hours of training. They need to check on that so that they're making sure that they are hiring the right person or the right company.
Exactly. And anybody that has a One Heart franchise, all that is kind of provided. You make sure that they help you make sure all of that is covered.
Yes, they're fully trained, and
Go ahead.
we transformed them into becoming an elder care advisor, problem solver, and
Oh, I like that problem
partner.
solver. That's good.
yes, partner to the healthcare community.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, there are a few of these companies out there. So when it comes to driving business towards a One Heart services, how do you actually go about? Well, first of all, you have to convince people they really need help because that will help them in the long run. Then they have to be convinced that you're the one, and you can only do so much, and that's it. But how do you help your franchisees generate that kind of steady income flow or supply of customers?
Yeah, the system allows us to have market development program, market penetration program, and we have our area recruitment program. So this is a process, a methodology that once they follow, they will be able to have a steady income. How to conduct their own sales and marketing activities, health education activities, sales and marketing. We also have a marketing department in our head office that they don't need to put up their own marketing department. And our group and our team is equipped with their ability to identify needs and wants in each market. We develop marketing programs and campaigns that we do every month, every 2 months, so that once the franchisees will execute this program, this will allow us to develop and to show their own local community that they'll be one of the best home care companies that will be able to provide care to their senior communities. So these are really well-built system and processes and methodology that once they follow, it's more like they have a roadmap to be able to follow. So they have the destination in mind, but we provide them the roadmap to be able.
The navigation system.
Yes. So they don't need to reinvent the wheel. They just need to do it the One Heart way for them to be able to execute the best care for their, and even before they accept a case, they have a plan of care process and pay forms. The once they walk them through, the patient or the client, to an interview, they'll be able to know the level of care. So those are really good steps to be able to know the level of care needed by each seniors. And it's up for them to decide whether they really want to go into this full blast, because it's something that saves lives and prevent fall, prevent hospital readmission. So this is something that their family members would need to be able to make sure that wellness is protected and longevity is achieved over the course of the years. So we're a group of healthcare professionals combined 90 years. When we combine our professional experience, it's 90 years.
That's almost as old as me.
Yeah, no, not close. It's pretty good number of successful experience that we'll be able to share to our franchisees so that they'll be able to minimize, not have a mistake on their own, and just they can always call us and we'll navigate together how they can do their case management.
You know, I think we've talked about why senior care is a really good industry. I don't know if there's anything you wanted to add to that.
The lifespan of seniors in the U.S. is getting longer.
Right.
The only thing is people live longer, but with health limitations. So meaning they may grow until 80, 90, but they have some health limitations that they cannot perform activities of daily living, and they cannot live by themselves alone. So they would need senior care. There's 12 million Americans that will need senior care this year.
As far as I know, the largest single growing group in this country are the 100-year-olds.
Yes,
and that's followed by the 85-year-olds.
Yes, they're living longer. Even in the senior centers, where I volunteer at Thousand Oaks, I see more and more people who are 86 years old to 98 years old who are still going there and performing their leisure activities. So they're growing and they're living longer.
Yeah, I want to stay around.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear some people say, no, once I can't do this, I want to be gone. You know those science fiction movies where there's a brain in an aquarium?
Oh, yeah.
Get a little off focus here. You know, just put my brain in there with some of those electrodes coming out, and as long as I can hear music and I can either read or have somebody read to me and talk to people, keep it going.
Yes. Benjamin Franklin declares that there are two definite things that can happen, right? Death and taxes. Our CEO, Belina Nurnberg, declared that there's a third one now that you cannot escape, and that's long-term care.
Oh, boy.
Whether it's going to be performed by a nursing home, family members, or a professional caregiver. You cannot escape long-term care because you're going to be needing it one way or the other.
Right. And a lot of people need it not in the last few years of their lives, but just because they fall down or they're maybe incapacitated for a year or two or whatever, and then they return home. But in the meantime, you need long-term care, whether it's at a facility or at your home.
There are about 5 million Alzheimer cases in the U.S., and because there is no cure, it's going to increase to 16 million people. We have a client who's 58 years old who's got an Alzheimer case.
Oh, wow.
And it's really very heartbreaking to see that this disease is a devastating disease that you can't live by yourself anymore. So you will need care.
Yeah, I don't know nearly enough about that disease. I've talked to people that have it, even somewhat advanced, and they seem normal. But if you go to try to write your name, you can't do it. It's I guess that's certain stages, but it's pretty scary.
It becomes too personal for me, Jay, also because my mom, who lives 8,000 miles away, is in her late Alzheimer's stage. Wow. Even at 86 years old, she forgets how to chew her own food. Ugh. And that's why me, as my commitment to the senior community, I would like to do more of this neurobic brain exercises, lectures, and education.
I know you've got a great reputation for that.
Yeah. So we are committed, and we wanted to do more. I've done more than 30 neurobics brain exercises lectures last year. I'd like to continue more, even with our other resource speaker, T-Bar, and Kimberly Mitchell.
Now, what about Well, we know about what makes this a good franchise. One thing that I was going to say is, of course, if you're looking to fund one of these, there's always a reverse mortgage.
Oh, yes.
One of many, many, many things you can use a reverse mortgage for. And I know a lot of older people that have taken money out of the house to start a business with the family, themselves, whatever.
Yes.
But what should someone get pre-qualified for, or funding, or how does that actually work?
We are a member of the International Franchise Association. We attended a convention last month at Orlando, Florida, and there are financial group that helps out franchising. It's easier to get a loan if you're a franchise business. So
because people have less of a chance of making the wrong decisions.
Yes. SBA loans, payment has a very low
rates and
rate
things.
of for home care franchise business owners. So they are able to pay more. There are very little percentage that are unable to pay, unlike other big businesses, restaurants and all. So home care is considered to be having the less percentage of default.
Wow.
In paying back their loans.
So it's not like trying to get a loan to open a restaurant, is it?
No, it's a low investment risk.
Because that's about the highest investment risk that I can think of offhand.
It's
is a restaurant. Yeah.
It can be less than 100,000 to be able to own your own One Heart franchise business. So it's more affordable in terms of getting yourself your own money, or getting an equity from your home, a reverse mortgage, or getting a funding from banks.
We're starting to run out of time. No, I'm not talking about our age. I'm talking about for the show. I want you to give all of your contact information again, please.
Yes, my contact number, my direct office telephone number is 818-579-2570. You may also call my mobile phone number 805-338.
God, your mobile, that's good. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted it, but it surprised me you're giving out your mobile. That's good.
That's
go
all
ahead.
right.
Go ahead with my mouth closed and do it again, please.
805-338-8100. You can text or call me in this number. So you know the reason why we get a lot of senior lady clients, Jay?
What's that?
Every time I do a lecture, I introduce myself as my name is Randolph. For the guys, you can call me Randy. For the girls, you can call me anytime. So the senior ladies call me more than the guys. So that's why I gave 2 numbers.
Okay. Go ahead and throw it out again. The number.
So direct line 818-579-2570, or mobile phone number 805-338-8100. You can find us in our website, oneheartfranchise.com.
Wow, that's easy. Now, One Heart, that's just the number one and then spelled out the rest, right?
It's numerical 1, number 1.
Yeah.
Heartfranchise.com.
All right. So let's hope more and more. Well, I know you're having success. So
yeah, we're busy this year. Yes.
Yeah, the more success you have, the more success aging people in general are going to have. Because the more people, the more their One Hearts and that industry grows, and it needs to grow because we have 1 minute, but it needs to grow because the demand is so high, and it's getting much, much higher as we go, with the 100-year-olds being the largest single growing group here. So we know that'll work well. We wish you a lot of success with that, which I know you're going to get. And I want everybody else to remember those phone numbers, whether you want to talk about staying busy by doing this kind of thing or any other way, or just getting to know. Call Randy and just get to know. Ask questions about health care for you and your family. And you know how to call me, and you know bestloantoday@gmail.com. And I will say good night, good afternoon, that is. And thank you so much, Sean, for being so patient with me. And of course, thank you, Randy, for being such a great guest. And thanks to all the listeners, most of all. And Kaplan will be here on the same corner in front of the cigar store next week. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Educated Retirement Show with Jay Kaplan. Tune in every Friday at 3 p.m. to learn more about your mortgage and reverse mortgages. And don't forget, each show is also podcasted on the KMET website, KMET1490am.com. Thanks for listening.